Being innovative, sporty and agile are the prerequisites for success in this challenging world. Which is why we bring you the perfect match of style, performance and power. Hello and welcome to PowerDrive. I'm Saket Mehta and today I'll take you for a drive that blends high performance, safety and comfort. So fasten your seatbelts as we take you for a spin and spend the day with one of India's youngest technology geeks. Saket Modi is a self-driven 26-year-old maverick who has done wonders at his age. So let's get set and go. He's 26 years old, but he's already one of the brightest technology minds in the country, one of the best young entrepreneurs that we have, a firewall, an ethical hacker. Saket Modi, it's a pleasure to join you. First of all, at such a young age, what do you have to do to reach the top?
I personally feel success is a very relative term, right? I can give you dozens of examples of people who've done even more phenomenally well before my age also. So I feel, we were having fun for the last 5 years in running this startup, and then, things clicked one after the other. So I've been one of the more lucky ones, you can say.
Cybersecurity, very niche sort of market. So you were always convinced that this is what I want to do. You were focused, and that's what I think made it work.
You're absolutely right when you say about the focus on this market. I say this with a lot of pride that I'm a geek and a nerd. From the very beginning, computers have always fancied me, that it's always fascinated me. The idea of being able to compute so much at so much more efficient power at relatively such a less amount of time, and the possibilities from that is something that I've always been excited about right from my very childhood days. Because I enjoyed computer science so much, I wanted to spend a lot of time in the core concepts, understanding the core working of how computers or any kind of a technology-related device works. And when you understand that, the byproduct can be anything that you come out from it. So cybersecurity or software development or artificial intelligence or augmented reality are just, spun-offs. So think of technology understanding as crude oil, and what you make out of it, be it diesel, be it petrol, be it kerosene, anything, is really the processing that you do to the crude oil, and then you have an output that comes out from that. So for me, the focus or, the thing that excited me the most was really about understanding how technology works. Once you understand that, what you do with that is not that very relevant. And whatever you do with that, in general, it's supposed to be appreciated by a lot of people.
Values are very important for any individual to succeed. What were the values going on in your career, especially on the professional front?
The only value I've followed all my life is that don't follow any values, really. And I'll tell you why. Because I've seen too many people suffering because of some pre-proposition that they have taken in their lives based on where they were. And when they come to a different level, they suffer because they made a promise at a time where they couldn't understand the next level. You need to be true to the values of the day where you are at, rather than having any set of value that you started from the very beginning, and that couldn't change. Go with today's values.
Go with today's values is what Saket is telling us, but I don't want you to evaporate now under the sun. So for a power-packed day, let's get some power breakfast with Saket Modi. Let's go. Do you like to drive often? Do you travel often?
I do travel often. Of course I drive.
You like driving in Delhi?
Yeah, I drive.
And where do you like to travel? Like, which is your favorite travel destination? Do you go out with your friends?
I've got 3 passports, same number. Why I'm saying this is that on an average I'd be traveling once a fortnight to a new country somewhere in the world. I travel quite frequently.
Which is your favorite destination?
I love so many places, yeah. I love spending my time in Amsterdam. I love spending my time, I love Seattle. I love, UK has its own charm. Then, of course, Germany, Frankfurt. I mean, everything has, it's like one is an orange, one is an apple, one is a, this thing. How do you compare? Because everything has such awesome things. So I love, traveling India. I mean,
Yeah, local travel.
I'm from a small little village in Rajasthan. It's called Sujangarh. That's where my roots are. However, I'm born and brought up in Calcutta. So, I keep visiting Rajasthan once every year. And I often go to Calcutta, again a land of such such brilliant, culture, food. This is so much, Delhi is so brilliant when it comes to food.
With your friends, do you like to take drives, go somewhere nearby Delhi, like that? Is there a weekend getaway?
So we just completed our 5 years, 3 weeks back.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And all 100 of us, 110 of us, we all went to Rishikesh.
Okay.
And actually a couple of hours from Rishikesh, we trekked from Rishikesh. So we drove till Rishikesh.
Okay.
And, from there 2.5 hours of trekking, where we were at the Ganges. So, we camped at the Ganges.
Yeah.
Under the stars. We took baths in waterfalls for 2 days. We did starting from cliff jumping till rafting and, the entire... So yeah, I mean, I go out quite frequently with my friends.
It's a beautiful machine.
Machines and its beauty is a very interesting concept that you struck upon. Absolutely. It's like mathematics and music. When you put them together, it's a magical combination that comes out. So when a machine is supposed to be beautiful, only then an Apple happens or a Mercedes-Benz happens.
What would be your favorite cuisine? Are you a foodie? Are you a big time foodie? Everybody in this country is a big time foodie.
Absolutely. So I think you can't be in India and not be a foodie. I think we're in one of those places in the world where every 100 miles that you would walk, you'd find a new cuisine and way of eating, right? You see, I eat what I enjoy. I don't really care about how much calories or carbs and, I think it's foolish to eat food which is like dripping in oil. I mean, that's not something which, I don't think that's tasty also. But on the other side, if you understand, you're supposed to eat food when you feel like, right? Rather than worrying about, what will happen to me. And so, thankfully I'm not in the modeling business. Probably, I don't need to have six-pack abs.
So usually during your breakfast, do you do a lot of meetings or do you have to skip breakfast sometimes?
Breakfast is a very good time, especially when you have to meet some very busy people, because the busiest people on the planet also have breakfast in general. I've been fortunate to have some of the senior-most people that you can think of as my mentors, as my advisors, to actually do the right things. You need the right set of people advising you, and you need to basically take everything that they tell you and implement that on the on-ground basis with modifications depending on your industry, depending on your situation and where you are. Most of these conversations for me really happen during breakfast. So breakfast is that time where I go out with my investors. Typically, at least 2 to 3 breakfasts every week. Breakfast is like that secret hack.
Yeah.
That everybody would be having a breakfast.
Perfect start to the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Saket, now we've had a lot of paratha, so we need to burn those calories. Time for some off-roading adventure. Let's go. After a power-packed breakfast, now we are headed for a power drive in the true sense. The more I drive this Mercedes GLC, the more I'm impressed by its features and performance. We've seen the driving comfort that it offers on city roads. Now it's time to test its performance on more adventurous terrain. Okay, Saket, we are here at the off-road adventure zone. Time to put you to the test. Ready for the spin?
Let's do that.
Okay. How was that?
You tell me.
I was pretty scared with the pit. Overall, the car and the experience of driving it around the pit and the whole obstacle course.
I think it was super cool.
Yeah. What was the main challenge in the pit? I really want to know, because that time I thought we had really lost control.
I think the biggest challenge was you getting scared sitting right next to me.
The big speed breakers, those were also a little troublesome.
Frankly, I was surprised, you know. When I saw the size of the bumps, I didn't think that this car would go through. But then, you know, the way this worked out, I'm fairly impressed with the car. Yes.
Overall, you liked the experience? The chills and thrills over the obstacle course?
Without a doubt.
Enjoyed the off-roading experience?
Absolutely.
Talking about adventure, what is the most adventurous thing that you have done? And do you like, you know, thrilling, adventurous activities?
Oh, absolutely. I think the way I live my life, most of my life is an adventure. So bungee jumping and, of course, you know, scuba diving, or actually going and taking a jump from the airplane where you actually float in the sky and of course then come back safe and sound.
Yeah. I've heard that, you know, you do a lot of indoor sports for fitness, like table tennis, and you're also a chess whiz.
I've been somebody who's been enjoying sports for a very long time, and table tennis is something that I've played quite a lot. And I used to lead a team back even both in my school and my college, where you know, we used to have fun traveling across the country, where you know, I was representing what, you know, wherever I was. And table tennis is fun, and I've done that. I mean, I've been a part of my, you know, college and school teams on football, on badminton, I mean, there's a lot of sports, you know. Once you're a person who likes playing one sport, I think it's quite easy for you to switch over to the other one, because you know, I feel the overall principles of the same remain the same.
Okay, now we're going to head back to your office. Right now we're going to find out more about your workspace and what you do. Cool?
Sure.
It's time to head to another destination, Saket's office. As we take a smooth ride, join us on this exciting journey on the other side of this short break. Time to venture into the magical, fascinating, and if I may say, dark world of Mercedes. Talk to me about hacking in the modern world. In 2017, hacking, that is just off the roof.
When technology has become such an integral part both of our professional and our personal lives, hack into the technology becomes a huge impact because of the importance that we have given to the world of technology. You have to come up with ways by which you can make that very, very secured. And that is where cyber security or technology security comes into the picture. So what we do, Sushant, as a living, or what we do out here, you know, as a business, is basically hack into technologies that are developed by some of the largest e-commerce, some of the largest banking, some of the largest insurance companies that you would be using on an everyday basis. All of that security, we are responsible for that. In digital, there are no boundaries. I can be sitting right next to you. I can be talking to you using my computer, and I can literally bounce across 5 different continents and then send you a message. You might be Donald Trump or a Barack Obama or a Narendra Modi. Believe me, you will not be able to trace from where or the route which I took in order to go ahead and communicate with you. Let me give you a live demonstration of a live mobile phone hack. I'll take a cell phone if that works for you, and we'll get into your WhatsApp.
You can get into mine.
You actually have this thing, Sushant, where you can see this is the exact location that you're at right now. We're at our office. I can do a lot of other things. Let's take an example of all your contacts. So if I click on contacts, whoa, you're friends with Ranveer Singh, is it?
Yeah.
Abhishek Bachchan's your friend too. Varun Dhawan's your friend too. Wow, man. Who are you? If I click on your SMS, I get the list of all the SMSs. What time should I be there? That was the last SMS you sent to somebody.
So, Saket, this is unbelievable that you have access to my contacts, you have access to my WhatsApp conversations, you have access to my location. I can be anywhere and you will know what I'm doing.
Not just that, Sushant, it gets even better. You want to see something? Hear this thing out, and I'll show you what this is. You'll be very, very happy to hear this.
I'm sure I won't be happy to hear this. What is it?
So this is the last bit you have to ask yourself. Ready, sir, ready? Ready.
So, your device is recording my microphone
right now.
Even when I'm not calling anyone, but just being in this room, my microphone is being recorded through my phone.
Absolutely. It's possible to basically remotely switch on the microphone on your phone and start recording.
That is just incredible.
There's the power of technology. If you understand it, you can basically make it do what you want it to do.
I am not very glad that I volunteered for this experiment, but I don't want to be the scapegoat now.
I understand.
So,
Don't worry.
being an ethical hacker, you have to get me out of the system now. So this is really scary because, you know, you can access anybody's phone anywhere in the world. And that's not the scary part. The scary part is that guys like you are, who are at the right end of the law, are fewer in number, I believe.
Yes, there are relatively fewer people who do this, but on the other side, the number is growing as we speak every day.
Is that really the future? Do you have to be secure and paranoid about your devices?
I don't know. Just imagine. Can you imagine a guy taking your phone for 20 seconds and then switching on and off your microphone anytime he wants? Yeah, so it sounds like a science fiction movie, right? Unfortunately or fortunately, today that's not the case. You just saw what's really possible in the cyberspace. The fact is, it's a scary situation to be in. I don't want to go to a phase where I want to get fear-mongering into people, but on the other side, if there is a real threat, we have to say that and say that out loud.
Okay, so finally I want to know, what is the future? What is the future of cyberspace hacking, cyberspace technology?
So you see the speed at which technology is evolving, right? Elon Musk puts this very beautifully, that today in your hands, that the power which is there in your mobile phone and the kind of things you can do with it is far more than what the United States president could do just 6 to 8 years back. We've built this entire platform that we sell to our customer that we call it a SAFE. SAFE stands for Security Assessment Framework for an Enterprise. That weaves into the fact that, you know, you take cognitive security, that is learning in real time, and get that together with all the data that you've collected and have intelligent real-time decision making in order to see what your cybersecurity maturity is, both at a personal level and at an organization level. And that's where we feel the future of cybersecurity is heading towards.
Is someone watching me 24/7 is what I want to know. Is someone watching everyone 24/7 in your bedroom, to your office, to everywhere that you've been followed?
God is watching you.
God is watching. The third eye. Being at the top of your game, being precise, these are some of the values that ensure a smooth drive to success. Let's now head across to Saket's home, where we discover another one of his talents.
I was fortunate to be in Calcutta for long, where there are people who still have to the culture when it comes to music and dance and, you know, things around that. I've been playing the piano since my childhood. I had a band. We used to perform both in school and college, interestingly. Most people talk about saying, you know, I need to do this to unwind myself from work. What they don't understand or realize is indirectly they're also saying that their work makes them stressed. I'm saying when you are having fun during work and when you're having fun during playing the piano, there's no reason this becomes unwinding and that becomes winding. You can say with this that becomes unwinding and with that this becomes... So all of it by itself, when you're doing that, that itself is so unwinding, where you don't need an unwinding after that, because everything is so much fun while you're running a startup, having fun when you're selling to customers, having fun while you're playing the piano, having fun while you're doing salsa dancing, and there's just so much which is there to have fun with. So I just don't look at it as a de-stress of any kind, because to de-stress you need to have stress, which thankfully is not there in my life. I feel living life according to rules or set of values is a very boring proposition. I think the robots are good to do that, but we as humans, being able to have the ability to think out of the box, to feel out of the box, there's no reason why we need to have a preset condition moral book or a value system that we need to follow. I think the only time we need to be true to ourselves is right now. And for me, the most important rule is not to have any rule and to live your life in the moment, having fun.
Okay, so that was a power-packed day coupled with the PowerDrive with this young gentleman who has a very bright future, I must say, in this very dark space. Saket, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. And really it's enlightening knowing about all this hacking stuff.
Thank you so much for having me on your show, Shashank. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
So that was Saket Modi, young, innovative, self-driven, and at just 26 years of age, he has mastered his craft. Much like the Mercedes GLC, which gave us the perfect company for our long and adventurous day. Well, we hope you enjoyed this journey just as much as we did. Thanks for watching and goodbye.